Well, after a long break, we are back here with FIS action. Hello again, everybody. I am Gary Gatto, the voice of the FIS, and welcome to P1 Broadcasting coverage of round one of season one of the Porsche Super Series in support of the FIS, coming to you from Fuji International Speedway. And we have a wet track, guys. I just noticed that. So already this is shaping up to be kind of an exciting opening race here for the Formula Indy Series Season 7 here in a little bit. But joining me in the booth, we have my regular partner in the Formula Indy Series broadcast. It's Stephen Larkamp, but you haven't heard his voice in a while. Welcome him back. And also we have Luis Gonzalez Nunez, who is stepping in. And he's been doing this is triple duty for Luis. He was on the Monday broadcast, the Tuesday broadcast, and now he's on the Wednesday broadcast. So I'm working Luis to the bone. But welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to Fuji. Welcome to the Porsche Super Series. Welcome to the FIS Season 7.
And welcome to what I think is going to be a very fun season opener for the Porsche drivers. And especially since I've been looking at the radar here, the rain has just moved out of the vicinity of Fuji Speedway up here in the mountains. So it's going to be a damp track to start out here, and these guys are going to be scrambling for grip. No matter where you put the car, it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun watching these guys. Mostly used to open wheelers, of course, most of these drivers would be. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they not only tackle a Porsche Super Cup car, but doing so on a damp Fuji Speedway. I think this is going to be fun, and I may sound a little bit sick tonight. I don't know what I got, but maybe like that shower I had earlier. Maybe a wet race is what the doctor ordered.
Luis, we did this is our second ever wet race. You were on the first one with us over in the EGB Hypercar Series. If I remember right, those wet races, that one wet race was at Le Mans, actually had quite a bit of drama in it. So we could be off to a good start for this first race in the Porsche Super Series.
Actually, I really enjoyed that race. Good afternoon, everyone. So it was really excited race with the first time together, you and me, in the wet race. It's gonna be the race is gonna be out on the wet maybe after 10 minutes maybe when the car is gonna get the track dry. But it's going to be interesting, the restart and the first corner, and then, the first lap, because you need to warm up the tires. And also the selection of the tires. What kind of selection you going to use? You going to stick it with the wet tires and then going for one stop? Or you can risk to use the dry tires and then try to go into the end? For sure, the answer is easy, to go to the wet and then make a one stop for the dry tires, but who knows?
All right, and we've already got qualifying done, so we have a starting lineup for you. Let's get into that.
And on the pole, Dalton Zavadil in the number 24. Very fast time, nearly 9/10 up on second place. Kevin Bonomi, familiar face in the Formula Indy Series, of course. Bacon Zelenka, great name, by the way, will start off third in the 45 alongside Sam McDougall, another regular in the FIS, in the 13 machine. Archie Williams will be starting the 93 machine in fifth place alongside Kostas Solvej, I'm sure I pronounced that wrong, in the 222. Justin Knowles, number 15, will start off 7th alongside Nate Siefker, former FIS champion, of course. Matt Johnston, very fast in open wheelers. A bit of a struggle here in the tin tops, starting off 9th in the 04 alongside Nick Russell in the 53. James Watson will start off 11th in the 39 alongside Gail Galley in the 16. The 000, Eric Dubois, will start off 13th, last of the drivers supposed to qualifying time, and he'll be alongside Matthew Short. And rounding out the field, Hunter Engrav will be starting off shotgun on the field there. No qualifying time for either him or Matthew Short, so let's see what they're able to do in this initially damp race here at Fuji. This one's definitely going to be a fun one to watch, especially in the early stages.
All right. I love having you in the booth. When it comes time for the starting lineup, you just take it right over. Yeah. All I have to do is keep the graphic flowing. Well, we are lining up now. It's my understanding that we are doing a standing start for this series.
Looks like it, yes.
So we are lining up, and not everyone is lined up yet. We're still expecting another 3 more cars, and then we will go green. Here we go.
Slowly getting everyone onto the grid here. Looks like Kevin Bonomi not taking the starting grid here, but green flag flies. We are underway for a new season in the Porsche Cup. Already you can see the water start to spray up here as Zavadil defending to the inside. Bacon Zelenka looking to make his nose in on the inside. Side by side into turn 1. Zelenka with a diving move. Oh, a little bit got loose there. Zavadil holding on to the point. Fast left-hander coming up here. How will they handle it on these in these damn conditions? Side by side behind them. Big scuffle going on as Sam McDougall. Oh, 2 cars off there. Archie Williams and Kostek Solveig. Both of them go off there. Solveig gathers it up. Williams still trying to gather it up there. Didn't hit anything, thankfully. Zelenka now lost out to... I believe that was trying to see who that was.
It's Nate Siefker. As he's made the bonsai run up to the lead. He's up 5 spots already.
Beautifully done for Nate Siefker. 7th to 2nd as we go into this tight chicane at the end of the back straightaway. As Zelenka now, a bit wide there. Losing out on the position there. That is the 53 of Nick Russell. Russell off to a fantastic start as well. And the 13 machine of Sam McDougall struggling in this early... on this opening lap here.
Matt Johnson almost into the back of one of the competitors there in that braking zone.
Very close call there from Matt Johnson. That's James Watson he's fighting out with. This is for one of the spots in the top 10 here as we're coming off the final corner. Dalton Zavadil holding on to the point here, but look at that start from Nate Siefker. Beautiful start there by the 2, mastering the wet conditions thus far. And across the line to start off to end the first lap. Zelenka looking behind them now. Nick Russell actually did get around Bacon Zelenka, and he's up into 3rd place. So a big shake-up early on in the going here is, Siefker off into turn 1. Way wide, but gathers it up. No position lost. But you gotta be very careful in these wet conditions, especially since it's a big question mark about what sort of tires you were going to go with at the start of this race.
And not everybody's on wet tires.
This is true, especially since the rain is moved out of the vicinity of the track. And Zelenka fighting it out with Sam McDougall back here for 4th place as Colston Solwich starting to get his nose into the situation. But these wet conditions, it's going to be curious to see the guys that started on slick tires, because they're going to be gambling that it's going to be a lot better for them later on in the race. And I imagine Nate Siefker is going to be one of those drivers that started off on the wet tires.
Side-by-side teammates battle going into the chicane here.
Solo Wedge looking at this intently. There is Zelenka breaks sideways there. The 13 trying to stick his nose in. Stick their nose in. McDougall trying everything they can to get the move to work. Not happening so far, but Soul Wedge is seeing an opportunity to the inside on McDougall. Tight left-hander there, and then a wide right coming onto the front straightaway, and then a long straight. Even in Formula 1, this was one of the longest straightaways on the F1 circuit when Fuji Speedway hosted F1 events in the late 2000s.
Purple lap for Zavadil.
Gap now about 4 seconds between Zavadil and Siefker. But look at this, nearly three wide. As to the outside. Big momentum. Can they hold it on the brakes is the big question. And Solo Wedge dives it through on both of them. Can he gather it up?
Have to show a replay
Almost
of that.
Doesn't do so. Zelenka gets back on his outside here for this fast left. Try to pinch him, try to hit him actually.
Oh.
A little love tap through this left-hander there and trying to squeeze by, and he does so. Bacon Zelenka really playing it bold so far.
Here's
There's
that
McDougal now.
Here's that 3-wide move, by the way. Take a look at that. We cut away accidentally from that, but we want to show you that pass going into one. Great car control for all of these gentlemen.
Fantastic stuff so far, and it's really showing not only is the car unfamiliar to a lot of these drivers, perhaps, especially compared to the open wheelers that we normally see here in the series, but also the wet conditions is a big factor. Here is Zelenka goes way off into the chicane. Doesn't even bother to try and get back on there. He's going to have a slowdown penalty.
And that's what we saw shooting through that shot there. We'll watch that again as he misses the, I guess you can't even call those a sleeping policeman. I guess the bollards or whatever. And then now he gets right back on. But apparently, as you can definitely see with the way the roadway is handling, the debris patch is definitely throwing a little bit of extra stuff up on the racetrack that we recently received in the latest update here on iRacing.
Exactly. As Soul Wedge gets a monster run on the front straightaway on Zelenka. Zelenka trying to... Oh, and Zelenka has been issued a black flag. He did not give up the positions fast enough for iRacing's liking. So that's going to be a drive-through penalty for Bacon Zelenka. Pulling off, actually.
Yep.
And done. And the top three on the wet tires. P4, who we're watching right here. Zolway, he is on the first cars on the slick, followed by McDougal. McDougal also on the slicks.
Zelenka has disconnected, so... Game over for Bacon Zelenka, and very unfortunate there. Just did not slow up nearly enough as what iRacing wanted. And I know sometimes the iRacing system can be weird with how much you want to slow up there. But, yeah, that was a mix of unfortunate, but also maybe should have considered it a bit more.
Zavadil is your leader. He's representing Fiercely Forward. It's a new team formed here in the new year. We know their IndyCar squad pretty well. Well, now we're checking out their Porsche Cup car and their Porsche Cup team driver right now, as he is your leader by 6 seconds over former FIS Series champion Nate Seifert. Nick Russell is third. Kostek Sowe is in fourth, and Sam McDougal rounds out the top five. Matthew Short, he's your biggest gainer of the day. Shout out to Matthew Short. It's been a while since we've seen him. Good friend of the program and the channel. He is currently 6 up 7 spots there in the bright pink car.
So we've whittled it down, it would seem, to around 10 cars still running in this race. Kevin Bonomi, it looks like, never made it to the starting grid, I should note, after qualifying second. And the same true for Hunter Engrav. Engrav didn't post a time at all and out of the race as well. So 4 DNFs effectively so far in this race. And looking at lap time so far, Zavadil with a 50.1 last time around, Seifker with a 52.1 effectively. So about 2 seconds faster. Dalton Zavadil really enjoying it on what I suspect are the wet weather tires. And looking at the end trails I'm seeing coming off the cars, it looks like it may still be the order of the day to have wet tires on so far in this race, as the track slowly starts to dry out, though, of course, as I mentioned, the rain is gone at this point, and we're not expecting much more going forward in this race. So it's going to be a big question mark of how long these wet weather tires are going to last in these drying conditions.
You know, if these admins want to do a wet race for every Porsche Cup race we do, I'm all for that. They might, the drivers might not, but of course we can't have a wet race for IndyCar racing yet. Hear me, iRacing. Hopefully have that soon. 20 minutes left to play here before the timed race is up. Help us keep all this good positive momentum, and welcome everybody to this brand new channel. This is P1. And if you enjoy the coverage of the Formula Indy Series and the Porsche Super Series coverage that we're doing for you, and you respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. That is the best thing you can do for us, being a new channel. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcast. And folks, we got tons of those coming up. Including next week, a doubleheader Monday. Mark Murphy and Kyle Clenworth will be bringing the action for the IndyCar Open Series at Lime Rock. That ought to be an interesting race. That track's really hard to pass there anyways. That's a really short road course. And then followed up by 9:30 LGN and me. We will be doing the ISRA at Pocono. And that's next Monday, IndyCar doubleheader Monday nights here on P1. 1934 left to play. Zavadil, Seifkers, Russell, Solway, McDougall, your top five.
And nearly a 10-second lead now that Zavadil has over Seifker. Fantastic start so far. Looking a little bit further down the field, one of the closest battles on the track could well become the battle between Sam McDougall and Matthew Short. McDougall seeming to struggle a little bit on what I presume are the dry tires, because we're running about 5 seconds off of Zavadil. Ooh, big slide there for Kostin Solowich. Gathers it up, though. McDougall now is going to be all over the rear wing of that 222 machine.
And Zavadil, purple lap that time by 149.9. Well, apparently, the wet tires is still the way to go.
Looks to be so here. I'm still seeing water coming off the backs of the cars here, so you still got water on the track. And at this point, I think it's going to be the wise thing to do is to keep them on here. I can imagine at some point, maybe in like the last 10 minutes, someone's going to try and go in for slicks. But either way, it's going to be a big gamble, especially with track position you got to consider.
Something happened to Matthew Short. He gave up a position to Archie Williams.
Yeah, so what has happened to the 35 machine?
Missed a braking zone because Short is on the slicks.
Looks like, just got out from underneath him. Coming out of that chicane there and just lights up the rears. There's no grip. And around it goes almost, but didn't quite lose it yet, and only lost one position to Archie Williams' 93 machine.
And we'll watch this here, see what happens. Matthew Short, so we can catch that action. Still a little slick out there for the slick tires, but they're still hanging on.
And they're holding up a lot better than in a lot of other wet conditions I could possibly name. The track is drying, of course, so they'll be better as the run goes on, ideally. Question there would be how much time have you lost to the guys on the wets before the slicks come into their own?
Oh, Nick is in the pits.
Seifker is on pit road.
So he is going to make the decision and gamble to go to the slicks. Will he have time? 16:33 left to play here in this 30-minute timed race.
Good question. Sacrificing second place to do this. Up on the jacks, waiting for him to drop down. These are much slower pit stops than what we're used to in the IndyCar series, obviously.
Down
Off the jacks, down we go.
Slick tires. And the rooster tail on the spray is slowly going away. It's still out there, but it's not as prominent.
Going away. Ooh, yeah. Eric Dubois really deep into turn one. Overcooked the corner, and now James Watson gets around him for 8th place. So Seifker down to 7th after all of that. Will this gamble pay off?
Oh, we got someone else on pit road.
Yeah, heard the alarm go off.
Justin Noel, yeah.
Justin Noel coming on the pit road out of 10th position.
And Zavadil still, we're drying out there, and he still sets another purple lap with the wet tires.
Yeah, this is, it really becomes a curiosity for Seifker's gamble here. Unless the track really dries out with haste, then, ooh, way wide Seifker goes. Going into the hairpin, leading into the chicane. Cold tires, of course, along with being slick. Seifker nearly lost it there.
This is a battle for position with Watson.
Yes, it is. The 39 of James Watson. Getting right up on the back of a struggling Nate Seifker on fresh slicks.
Cold
in these damp
slicks.
conditions. Yeah, fresh, cold slicks.
Of course, most of us, at least those that grew up in the 80s, know this track best, being the default track on pole position.
So,
but
Seifker into turn one. Keep an eye on this. Seems to have some grip underneath him now.
Tires are coming up to temp. We'll talk about IndyCar history at Fuji when we get to the IndyCar race here, part of our main event later tonight. Zavadil again, another purple lap.
Man, really showing what he can do on these wets. It really has been a tour de force so far. 22 seconds is the lead for Dalton Zavadil over second place Nick Russell right now. Kostek Solejez up into third. Sam McDougall trying to catch up to him in fourth, and Archie Williams now in fifth.
I don't think either. You guys might not be old enough to have played the old pole position game at racing this racetrack. Did one of you play the arcade game pole position back in the day?
I did not. So.
Okay, yeah, that's why it went silent all of a sudden when I mentioned pole position. Like, yeah. So yeah, back in the arcade craze in the 80s, the best driving game at the time was pole position 1, and then they later came out with pole position 2, which had different tracks you could drive on, including which one was a copy of Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and I believe there was one that was a copy of a Suzuka. Oh, safety for going long.
That was a huge lockup going into turn 1, and off he goes. So this gamble not really paying off as it stands now for Nate Seifker, and lost a position now to James Watson.
Watson up to 7th now, up 3 spots, just running his pace. Nothing wrong with that. That is sometimes the drive to survive is the best strategy. And Zavadil again, purple lap, a 1:49.7.
Just keeps getting better and better for Dalton Zavadil. 25 seconds last time around was the margin as Nick Russell now comes down the front stretch.
But yeah, you used to be that one of the things that you could do is, it had a stand-up or a sit-down for pole position. You can in the old arcades, Aladdin's Castle. Go ahead. You see something?
No, I see Nate is coming with a lot of problems with the car.
Oh, yeah, we're going to take a look here. Atari made that game. Of course, Atari, being a Japanese company, they came to a Japanese racetrack to model it, so... Yeah, so go back, and if you find an old stand-up version or sit-down version of pole position 1, you can race the Fuji circuit in all of its 8-bit glory.
Fantastic. I'm sure there's certainly some old cabinets of that around somewhere.
I loved that game back in the day. It had a brake. I don't know if anyone actually used the brake, and it had 2 gears, low and high.
Yeah. Simple enough. Because I know, fun fact, around where I live, a few blocks from me actually, there is a, I guess you could say kind of a retro arcade kind of place. Really popular one too. And like you can, it's not that you don't put coins in the machine. You actually pay for like half an hour at a time, and you can play whatever machine you want. I know they got a cabinet of the Fast and the Furious, obviously there, and a bunch of classics. You got Donkey Kong, you got Frogger, you got pretty much every Street Fighter game known to man, and a bunch of pinball machines too. But I do wonder if one day they stumble across a cabinet of pole position. I'm sure they're gonna grab that one for sure, and I would love to see it.
I would imagine the number of cabinets of pole position, either the sit down or the stand up one, out there that is still workable, that's in good condition. That's the number of that's got to be extremely small. I mean, that we are 100% talking about an arcade machine that's from early 80s. And I just remember even as a kid stepping into those arcades in the mall, in the classic mall situation, the Aladdin's Castle in Castleton here in Indianapolis, Indiana. It always smelled like a locker room in that place. It was awful. The floors were crusty because everyone brought their drinks in there and spilled them, and everyone's sweating, and it was darkly lit, and yeah, it was weird. But I just remember, when kids would lose the game or get upset, they would just, smack those machines around and just treat them like utter crap. And if there's a good version of pole position still out there, I hope someone has rescued it.
Yeah, I would definitely hope so too, and I'm sure one of them is around somewhere like a private collection or in a warehouse somewhere.
Oh yeah,
but it's gonna be a big dive around to find one of those. But it would be worth it, I'd say. So, shout out to Game On State in Media, Pennsylvania. If you ever find one of those cabinets, definitely pick one up. I don't care if you need to refurbish it, just do it.
And Zavadil continues to go faster. Another purple lap for him. We're now watching this battle between Seifker and Watson. I'm wondering if the racetrack now is starting to dry out, and these slick tires are. Oh, he's right there, all over the back end of Watson in turn 6. And I'm wondering if these slick tires are starting to come into form now. Last time by Seifker, a 150.8. There's only one driver that's dipped below a 150, and that is Zavadil. He's a 149 flat. Last time by, that was a purple lap. There we see him.
Yeah. This has just been a show of dominance so far. Dalton Zavadil showing what he is capable of in these great Porsche Cup cars.
I know that every single league, the iRating is not affected too much because you can come in one guy with 1.3 and make a good race, but Dalton have a 9.0K, so you can figure out.
And actually, if everybody look on the tree here, and I'll go ahead and illustrate, you see these P's and A's after all their names, and that is a continuation of the professional and amateur classes, and they are carrying that over to the Porsche Super Series. And Zavadil is in the pro division here in the PSS, and Russell is in the amateur division in the PSS, and he is the lead amateur car in P2. So there are 2 championships going on. Also, there goes Zavadil, another purple lap.
Nearly into the 48s for Dalton Zavadil, and now we got lap traffic up ahead. That's Eric Dubois.
He's going to stay, just steer clear. Very cool of him.
And I'm still seeing a fair amount of the rooster tails coming off the back of of the cars here. So even after all this time, we're about 25 minutes after the start of this race, and it's still got some water on the track. So it's this has definitely been one of those situations where running it on the slicks did not seem to work as well as a lot of people anticipated.
New purple lap, Kostek Solway goes to the top with a 148.1. Archie Williams now purple lap with a 148.1 as well. Actually, Solway was a 148.6. Williams a half second faster with a 148.1.
Wow, so maybe we are starting to see the tires come into the slicks come into their own here. But the thing, though, as we saw before,
That's close. Wow.
And McDougall, he's on a set of, well, I guess at this point, well-worn slicks. He might be running at a slightly slower pace just because he's maybe worn those slicks out, whereas Archie, his teammate, possibly has been a little bit more conservative on those slick tires to try to get it to the end here. 4 minutes and about 15 seconds left to play here in this opening round of the Porsche Super Series here, part of the FIS at Fuji International Speedway.
ooh, Archie getting right up on the back bumper of McDougall. This is for 4th place. Archie looking left and right, trying to find an opportunity here. There's going to be one in this left-hander here. If he's brave enough, and he is, sends it down the inside on Sam McDougall. McDougall having to, not quite having to concede just yet. Oh, and Williams round. Sam McDougall.
Rule 1 of racing with your teammate has been violated.
Indeed it has. Never do that to your teammate. And rule 2, refer to rule 1.
Back to rule 1. Solway goes purple again with the 147.8.
Man, getting some late race drama right now with McDougall holding off Williams. There's going to be some words said over voice chat, I have no doubt.
At the very least, there's a come on, man.
Yeah. Come on, man. So McDougall and Williams both still holding it together now. McDougall still holds on to 4th place after all that. Can Williams catch up to the back of that 13 machine?
And we are not going to go white flag this time. I think we got at least one more lap after this.
I think we do at this point as Zavadil comes across the line so far. Yep, that's definitely enough that it's going to be 2 laps to go for the race leader, Dalton Zavadil, who's just put on an absolute rain racing clinic today.
Very cold track out there, 63 degrees with this rain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's something I didn't really mention much before, is the track temp with the rain here. Very, very cold. And that's saying something, especially since, as I've found over like years of playing iRacing, the asphalt on Japanese circuits particularly seems to be made differently, and it seems to retain a lot of heat compared to a lot of other tracks. Tracks like Okayama and Twin Ring Motegi's road course. They retain a lot of heat, and they lead to some high track temperatures, even with relatively moderate ambient temp. But here, with the rain on the track at Fuji, that has not been the case.
Solway and Williams both go purple on that lap, so the track is drying out. Slick tires are coming into their form now. Seeker and Watson closest battle on the racetrack.
Seifker catching back up to Watson after Watson overtook Nate Seifker again. This is for 7th place.
And I think we're going to see a white flag this time by.
Yep, that we are. White flag in the air for Dalton Zavadil. He's led pretty much from the drop of the green. and has just put on a masterclass of driving these Porsche Cup cars in the rain here today.
Yeah, he's hardly put a wheel wrong today. Nick Russell having an issue, and Zoe now caught him. This is for the second step of the podium.
Oh, is Solway's trying to go around the outside there. It does so successfully.
And
Beautiful.
the reason why is Russell's still on those wet tires. And as we see, Zoe was setting those purple laps one after another. See if he does a purple lap this time by, or maybe he had to check up just a little bit in the battle with Russell. Long run down this front straight.
So that was his personal best. Kostek Solwich, 147.1. And just pulling away now
and
on
Williams
those slicks.
again, 145.5.
And catching back up to McDougall at a clip.
Seifert and Watson.
You mentioned for Williams. McDougall was a 46.9.
Watson and Seifert battling out. Coming through to turn 16. Actually, this is 17, I believe.
Yeah, turn 16.
Yep.
16 corners here at FUJI as they start their final lap, but Dalton Zavadil off the final corner. Not a wheel wrong today. The 24 will take the win to open up the season at FUJI. Very well done.
Dominant for him. Started
Absolutely.
first. But the thing is, though, we'll watch as everyone else comes across the start-finish line. He got 3/4 of the Grand Slam, and really just, I think the slick tires of those behind him is kind of what prevented him from getting the Grand Slam. Gets the win.
This is true.
Gets the win, gets the pole. I believe he led every single lap, so not a bad start to the series and the championship for Dalton Zavadil.
Very well done as Solo Wedge second. Nick Russell will come home third and off the final corner. McDougall and Williams. Williams trying to catch up to the back of his teammate, but not quite enough. Sam McDougall will hold on to fourth place.
Oh, okay. I thought Sam's gonna give it the position back, but no.
You would have thought so, but I guess not.
No, you can't have it.
I thought that, yeah.
And we'll see. Looks like Seifert has pulled away from Watson, so Seifert's just a couple turns away. Just need to make these last couple of turns, come back up the hill, get on to the main straight, and finish this race off. So the gamble to come to pit road and change tires did not pay off. He was really the only car that stopped for that. Everyone else went on a no-stopper. And James Watson, good battling that we saw between these two all race long. All right, so let's get in today's standings here, final results. We can cue up the music. There we go. All right. And Dalton Zavadil with the win, and a dominant win. Just as we mentioned, 3/4 of the Triple Crown, did everything but get the purple lap. That belongs to Archie Williams. Talk about him just a second. But the Zavadil, lead pro driver, lead and the winner. So best in class, best in race. Your winner by 41 seconds over Zolway. He is in second. Mick Russell, lead amateur in third. McDougall fourth. Archie Williams with the purple lap in fifth. Matthew Short, biggest gainer of the day, up 9 spots. He comes home sixth. Nate Seifert seventh. James Watson eighth. Justin Knoll ninth. Eric Dubois in 10th. Bacon Zelenka ended his day a little bit early, but he comes home 11th. Matt Johnson 12th. Gale, and I'm almost saying that right. Gale, hopefully I'm saying that right. Again, if we're mispronouncing any names, just let us know in the Discord server. We will make sure that we correct that. But Gale is credited for 13th, Bonimi 14th, and Hunter Ingrave, the awesome photographer you see who took all the pictures pretty much you see on our getting ready to coverage starting soon bumpers, and thanks for watching bumpers. He did all those photos, and pretty much all those photos, and he comes home 15th.
Looks like we got Zavadil in the waiting room.
And we will queue up some replays here and get him in here. All right. All right, let's get Dalton in here. And there he is. Dalton, welcome to the booth. Now the trivia question for everyone is, who won the first PSS race in FIS history? The answer is Dalton, you did. Congratulations on the win, and a dominant win. Talk about your race. No stop, went with the wet tires and stuck with them the whole race.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I stuck with the wet tires on the whole race. I kind of figured the pit stop would probably be about a minute long. So from there, I was just like, okay, if I decide to take dries, it's probably just going to take too long to catch back up to the top of the field. So just stuck it out. Really great job by the team working to, get our best laps together and everything like that. So really, really great performance.
Talk about this new team. It's coming together. We know some of your drivers from the IndyCar ranks. A team that's kind of just formed here in the start of the year, towards the end of the year, and then start of this year. Talk about the team. What are your guys' plans going forward?
Well, we're aiming to be one of the top teams in iRacing for sure. Trying to compete with, the best of them. Redline, Red Bull, of course, and, everybody else. So that's kind of our mission. P1 Docs, our team owner, is also the owner of P1 Docs, and so we make setups for everybody around the globe, and they're the absolute best. So,
and of course, we do like the name P1 Docs, being that we're P1 Broadcasting, so that works for us as well. Well, congratulations. Typically, what we do is just give you the mic and allow you to do any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. Go right ahead. The mic is all yours.
Right on, man. Thank you so much to the team Fiercely Forward and P1 Docs for putting this all together for my team and everything. And then big shout out to the Reptile and Amphibian Center of the Rockies. I'm partnering with them to spread awareness for reptiles and amphibians everywhere, trying to keep them healthy and happy in the world of reptiles.
Well, there you go. You might have a fan out of my daughter then. She has a bearded dragon, so she loves her reptiles. Well, congratulations on the win for round one. We'll see you next week at Bathurst and for round two.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
We'll catch you later. All right, gentlemen, and that is the inaugural PSS Porsche Series race. Final thoughts before we move on to our little break here and get into the main event later tonight with the IndyCar Series, Season 7, Round 1 here of the Formula Indy Series.
Well, I think I'd agree with you that the rain racing does make it really fun, of course. So if more of the races are going to be in wet weather conditions, I certainly wouldn't mind. I don't know if the drivers do or not, but next week going to Bathurst, that is always a fun time. Doesn't matter what conditions it is. Bathurst, Mount Panorama is always an exciting track in any category, I find. So we start off with a good one. We'll probably have an even better one next time.
Lewis, final thoughts on today's race?
Like I just said, it's very excited. Stephen said too. It's really entertainment too when it's raining, and also thinking about the new tires and things. So, and also gonna be more excited because we have over the 35 cars in the next race on IndyCar. So it's
wow,
really a lot of people around over there. So it's gonna come in next.
Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. This is kind of the first time we've done doubleheaders before, but they were kind of in tongue-in-cheek kind of meme race type of ways where we had a bit of an intermission in between and we did a podcast. We're not going to do the podcast in between here, but what we will do is we'll have a splash screen. We'll have some music playing. Stand by, stay tuned. And what we'll do is we're going to wrap this session up and then load into the IndyCar session, see where they are for the start of their race on the timer. And then we will then bring you in about the time they start qualifying. And we got a lot of stuff we need to talk about in the IndyCar race. Of course, we want to review last season, see the lineup, and see what we might see for any contenders this season. With 35 folks, it's going to be pretty exciting. So stay tuned. We will be back very shortly for the start of the main event later tonight, the IndyCar race. But that is it from Fuji for the PSS. Your winner on the race 1 here on the support series, Dalton Zavadil, your winner. Caustic Zoe P2 and Nick Russell in 3rd. Stay tuned, stand by, and we will catch you just momentarily here for the IndyCar race coming up next. And welcome back, everyone. Once again, this is Gary Gatto, Stephen Larkamp, Luis Gonzalez here at Fuji International Speedway for today's main event. Round 1 of Season 7 of the Formula Indy Series for the PokeHex Grand Prix of Japan. Guys, we are in the warm-ups. Qualifications is done, so we shall not waste any time. And we'll jump right into this starting lineup. Let me just cue the music, and we can. I'll let you get started here, Steven.
Yep, and we have a lot of drivers on the grid, 40 cars in total. Connor Nixon will be starting off on pole position in the O2 alongside Michael Costello in the number 19. Caleb Bensi, former series champion, will start off third in the 21 alongside Tanner DeFabis in the 9. Titus Sherlock in the 311 will start 5th alongside Tristan Moss is number 41. Michael DeTurk in the 47 will start off 7th place alongside Evagorias Papasavas in the 8th position in the 71. Logan Spath will be starting off 9th in the number 3 alongside Sebastian Gianni in the 25. Row 6 will be Kevin Bonomi and Zach Fromm. From the 7th row, JJ Wang and Christopher Hill. The 8th row, Kostek Solwej and Takeshi Kida. The 9th row of the grid, Matthew Short and Nate Siefker. Row 10, Gabriel Asselin and Matt Johnston. Row number 11, Kyle Allen and Cody Claiborne. Row number 12, Thomas Ruviel and Indica Scarlett. Row 13, Kyle Mundell and Hayden Herman. Row 14, Dakota DeMade and Matt Schlosser. Row 15, J.W. Miller and Brian Labarge. The 16th row, Griffin Yellen and Dan Miglin. 17th row, Joshua Rutherford and James Watson. The 18th row will be Hunter Engrab and Nick Goyette. 19th row will be Nick Russell and Archie Williams, coming over from the Porsche race, of course. And the final row, row 20, Corey Rutherford and Eric Dubois. And we have a huge field here and a huge close field as well. The front of the pack, particularly Nixon with a bit of a gap over Costello during qualifying, but it's still a very close affair here. This is going to be fun.
Whew. Got it in.
Yeah.
The admins were like, you're not going to have much time. We got to get over to the IndyCar Raceway. We got this. We got that 5-minute warm-up. We're good.
Yeah.
We are good. All right. Well, we'll see how much time's left here in the only 30 seconds, so plenty of time. But thanks for everybody for joining us. Help us keep the positive momentum. If you enjoy the coverage of the Formula Indy Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts. Tossing to you, LGN. What's up?
Do you know Papasava? It is US F2000 drive.
Oh.
So he won in Toronto last year. And the race 2, and also he won in Mid-Ohio, race 2. He finished 4th in 2024 and 2023. He is driver for J. Hogan Driver Development. So I already when I read Papasavas, it's like, oh, okay, I already know him. F2000 because it's the only series included the pro. I think the US F Pro coming to Toronto.
Very cool to have a Road to Indy guy on the grid. That's Evagorias Papasavas in the 71 machine. Will start off 8th. 17-year-old from Kirkland, Washington, has gotten a win so far in the series last year. So got that win on the streets of Toronto, in fact.
And we're lining up.
2 wins as well. Another one in Mid-Ohio as well.
Connor Nixon, first career pole here in the FIS, defending champion. Mitch Welker not in the lineup, but the previous champion before him, Caleb Bensi, lining up 3rd. Here we go.
Green flag.
Standing start, of course. New season begins. Connor Nixon gets out to the jump. There is Bensi trying to get a run on the outside here, and Costello trying to go up the middle. 3 wide into turn number 1. Multiple rows deep. Oh, and some contact behind the motor car, airborne. Bad start for some guys behind there, but the front pack starting to get an edge. Connor Nixon holding on to the lead. Costello, Bensi now under pressure from Tanner DeFabis. The number 9 machine gets by the 21, and now Titus Sherlock looking to make some noise here in the 311 alongside. That's Papasavas. Papasavas with a diving move into that hairpin. Not quite enough this time.
Oh, Bensi.
Papasavas again sends it on the inside. Bensi gets muscled out.
Somebody lost a wing.
Someone lost a wing there, and I think that was actually Papasavas, but Papasavas' wing actually reappears on the car.
Well, we are in the land of the Transformers, so that's not surprising.
This is true. But off the final corner, 44 laps here tonight at Fuji, and Connor Nixon will lead the first lap of the new season.
Oh, car spinning, big wreck off the corner.
Oh, trying to see who was involved in that one.
Miglin involved in that one, and J.W.
And
Miller
Dan
possibly?
Yeah, looks to
Bonini
be so.
involved in that one too.
On
He's
pit
coming to
road.
pit road for repairs.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Not a
another-
good start there.
Corey
Costello
Rutherford
actually-
spinning going in the 1.
Rutherford around there, but now I'm looking at Tanner DeFabis up into P2, getting around Michael Costello for second place. Great start by the number 9 machine so far. And I'm looking behind them as well as Caleb Bensi was fighting it out with Titus Sherlock, and there's another car with a broken wing. That is Papasavas with a damaged front wing. Oh, a big wreck behind them. Who was that? Tristan Moss and Michael DeTurk were involved in that one. That was the battle for 7th place, and now they have to wait for everyone to get by them there as DeTurk creeps his way into the runoff chicane.
A lot of elbows out very early here. Connor Nixon and that very reminiscent of Buddy Lazier's paint job, the purple and the bright yellow coming down the front straight. Let's get the tree up for you. Push the pass notification will pop up. Tanner goes fastest that time by.
Papasavas on pit road, I should note, coming in to get that wing fixed. Not a good start there for our resident real-world open-wheel driver. But meanwhile, the battle on for the lead of the race. Tanner DeFabis has caught Nixon and blows by him going into turn 3. Tanner DeFabis on an absolute tear so far. What a start from 4th to 2nd, from 4th to the lead, I should say, in 3 laps time.
Top 5 are kind of stepping away a little bit. Christopher Hill leading the next group, former winner here in the series. Christopher Hill, Logan Spath finished on the podium last season in the championship. He is currently 7th, the Rookie of the Year in the Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series in the Elite Racing League. He is P7. Nate Skeefer, former series champion, is an 8th, getting a little squirrely coming off the corner there. J.J. Wang right behind him. He's a longtime participant in the series. He's a 9. Zach Flaum, one of the admins here of the series, currently 10th.
And he's putting Nate Siefker under pressure coming down the front straightaway. Siefker starting this race on the hard tires, whereas J.J. Wang is on the soft red stripe tires. Wheel to wheel down the front straightaway. J.J. Wang is going to have the inside for the corner here. That's not to the skip. Oh,
that was
behind him from and Sebastian Gianni. Gianni is around with a broken rear wing. They
got out of it, but he has damage on his front wing. And Wang and Seifert, they just dove in there. They all sent it to that corner. Nate was like, JJ, you're not going to get this on me, this corner. And they both set it down there.
Zach Fromm is off as well. Zach Fromm is pulled off the track with damage and resets the car.
Aiden Herman, one of the other Stowe Motorsports drivers, currently in 20th.
And meanwhile, the leader is already starting to catch lap traffic there. That's Kevin Bonomi in the 75. Starting to see the leader, Tanner DeFabis, filling up his rearview mirror.
Hey, Bonomi had to stop early for damage. He is going to stick to the inside down this extremely long straightaway. Going to stay out of the way. Top 5, all pretty much straight and aligned. DeFabis, Nixon, Costello, Bensi, Sherlock, top 5. Your lead amateur at the moment is Thomas Raval back in 13th. There he is. He leads the amateur drivers, followed by Cody Claiborne in 16th. Meanwhile, back up front, DeFabis is your leader. Now, while these guys come to, I don't have an idea of what we're expecting for strategies in terms. We're looking at least one stop. Is there a possibility that this is going to be a 2-stopper, or are we just looking at definitely one stop?
That's a good question here. I haven't had the chance to look at the fuel numbers, but at 44 laps on a track like this, that's usually cutting it close for a 1-stopper. So they may be able to squeeze it out, especially if they save a little bit. But not some. But if you, actually having some sound issues here. But if but if you're really going for it, you may end up having 2 stops at the end of the day. I'd have to check to be sure, of course. I don't have everything configured at the moment right now, but might be. But I think it could be possible. They need to get to 22 laps, remember, to reach a 1-stop race. And as I see Sebastian Gianni off in turn 1.
Spath to the inside of Hill. This is a battle for 6th. Spath's going to have the position. And I'll bring up the track map for everybody here to see. And Spath gets the spot. Moves Spath up to 6th. Looking at the battle back here. Mundell, Allen, Griffin Yellen is falling back at the moment. Allen getting the pass. Schlosser getting the pass on him. 2 amateurs over a pro. Oh, contact. Griffin Yellen is missing now a whole front wing assembly, whole front nose.
Oh, yeah, that is completely gone on that number 7. That was back in 15th place. Gabriel Aselian was right behind him as well. Actually, no, we're not. Falling back rapidly to the field and actually way off. Actually, that was another car going way off too. So everyone's scrambling.
Matt Schlosser going off into the chicane area. He might have cut it, so he had to let some drivers on by. You see, and also see the new debris software visuals going on with the latest patch that iRacing.
Costello for 2nd place. He looks to the inside on Connor Nixon. Not quite enough.
Here we go.
To get him just yet, but really hounding that O2 machine right now.
Oh,
here we go.
It's short. Oh, no, Nixon to the inside wall. Done. Elbows out and elbows cost Connor Nixon. Starting from the pole, but in the wall right now, off the exit of corner number 3, going into 4.
Yeah, that was going to that really fast that right-hand sweep, and that was a rough hit for Connor Nixon, and that is definitely a damaged race car, and he resets it.
Yeah, I'm sure the stewards will have their hands full with all the contact in the opening laps here of this race. We are actually, let's not do the 2-go. Let's do the lap 7 of 44. There we go. We are in the very early stages. IndyCar.
So I'm making a calculation about the fuel.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Gary.
Go ahead.
And it's going to be between, the open window is going to be between 25 to 28.
Okay,
that makes sense.
One-stopper would be the order of the day then.
So everyone's going to have to switch tires because that is the regulations here in the Formula Indy Series. If you do start on the primes, you got to go to the alts, or if you start on the alts, you have to go to the primes. So we'll see how that shakes out. Right now, Just to give everybody an idea, the top 6 are all on the alternates. Your lead prime car is Christopher Hill, the drive instructor for for performance racing instruction there, PRI.
And currently in a battle right now with Logan Spath for 5th place is Christopher Hill. Very good start, I should know. Started 14th on the grid, up to 6th on lap number 8. So once again, Christopher Hill showing that, well, qualifying didn't really work out the way he wanted to, but it doesn't really matter, especially with making good moves at the start of the race and also not getting yourself into trouble as well.
Right.
But
up front, the five of us have a 2.9. Go ahead.
Michael Costello, USF 2000, ninth place in the championship last year.
Wow, he had a little bit of trouble going through that turn complex there. Bensi getting the pass on Costello, moved Bensi up to 2nd, Costello down to 3rd, and he's under attack. My teammate Titus Sherlock going down the main straight. Sherlock on the push to pass. On the inside going in the 1. Costello getting the draft from Bensi, but gives up the position to his teammate.
He won in Portland the first race of the 3 in the last race.
Oh, wow. Portland, maybe. We might see Portland hit the be a track available on the sim here later this year. Fingers crossed.
Very well. I definitely would love to see it. Like Portland really should have been on here a long time ago, in my estimation, but I think a lot of tracks should have been on here a long time ago. But it'll be great to finally have it on the sim, and I think I've seen some rumor mills floating around that it is indeed in the works. I can't confirm or deny, but that's what I've been hearing so far.
And while this battle for 2nd rages on, DeFavis pulls away by 3.4 seconds. IndyCar has visited Fuji International Speedway before, but only one time, back in 1966 for a star-studded 80-lap exhibition race. It was the 2nd ever IndyCar race on a road course, even albeit for no points. The first ever IndyCar race on a road course was on the road course at Indianapolis Raceway Park on the far west side of Indianapolis. Under the USAC Champ Car banner, Sir Jackie Stewart won the pole in the race for his only IndyCar victory in 3 career starts. But since it was an exhibition race, it's not official. But he is in the record books with the win, but you don't see an IndyCar win next to his resume because of that. But Jackie Stewart won that race. Uncle Bobby finished 2nd.
It always never fails to amaze us how many IndyCar stars have raced on so many tracks around the world here, and in Fuji Speedway, definitely one of them. And it's a great one to go to. It's been one of the classics of racing for decades at this point, and it's been a classic in video games, racing sims, and the real world. It never gets old. It's one of those fantastic tracks of all time.
Lap traffic now coming up to Caleb here. That is the form of Griffin Yellen, who had to stop and get a new front wing assembly, but he should be good to go. He might also have a little bit fresher tires than this group at the moment, but he's going to go wide there in the corner, and that's going to give, he's going to fight back to the inside. And also another thing going on is I believe he's another team car to that group of drivers that are behind him. He's going to go lawn mowing right there.
Yellen cutting the grass here as now makes his way back onto pit road now.
Okay.
Griffin Yellen, and definitely struggling, it would seem here. I saw a big lockup from him when Bensi was putting the pressure on him.
A number of drivers in these.
Name?
Go ahead.
Another name? Tanner DeFavis, the leader of the race. He was in the 2000 USF 2000. He won in Lucas Oil and the track.
Oh wow!
He finished 18 because
was that was on the oval? Was that the Lucas Oil oval?
No, the race.
That would have been on the SCCA race, this road course. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I wish they would scan that. Historically speaking, that road course is very important to the history of IndyCar racing. That's where Mario Andretti got his first ever IndyCar win, and And, you know, they scanned the oval there, but I'd love to see him come back and scan the road course and then make it available for everyone to race on, because I know a lot of these IndyCar leagues would actually race on that course. But, yeah, the original road course race, actually, the original road course race that was on the IndyCar schedule that never counted for points actually was the Pikes Peaks Hill Climb. But the actual first race on a road course, a circuit, a closed circuit road course, was the Hoosier Grand Prix at Indianapolis Raceway Park. NC trying to use push to pass to defend. Sherlock using push to pass to attack. Vinci all the way down to the inside, but he overcooks the corner, and that's going to allow Sherlock to get on by.
Costello not quite there yet to take advantage of it, but Caleb Bensi losing out on that spot from that big lock up there. Can he get him back? Sherlock holding that inside.
Hill getting around Spath for fifth. JJ Wang starting to reel in Nate Seifer a little bit further back. Indica Scarlett up 12 spots. Indica now attacking Hunter Ingram for 11th here soon. Oh, and she's missing a front wing assembly. That is not good news for her right now.
That has gone horribly wrong for Indica Scarlett. That 66 limping around there as another car gets by her.
Winner of last season's Indy 300 for her first and only career win in the FIS, and she's going to have to come to pit road and get that front wing looked at immediately and repaired. And that's a lot earlier than she wants to come in. We're about halfway through, according to what LGN says, the first fuel run, which we expect to be around 22 to 25 laps. Meanwhile, back up front, the Fabus now encountering the lap traffic of Michael de Turk.
Oh, Sherlock holding off Bensi. Bensi trying to take it around the outside in turn one. Not quite enough. Getting a little bit chippy here as Costello trying to get himself into the fight.
The Turk was involved in an early incident, and he's getting ready to go a lap down to Tanner. And he has. But normally the Turk we see in the plain white wrapper. Today he's sporting the Ivan Stewart Toyota livery. We got him on staff to use him for broadcast, but we've never used him.
Yeah, maybe one day.
One of these days, yeah. He actually finished on one of the podiums, very well spoken in the interview, and I was like, you know what, he might make a good broadcaster. So we brought him in, but I've not used him yet. But he is kind of on the quote-unquote payroll with Tanner DeFamis is our leader now by 4.5 seconds. Over Titus Sherlock. Sherlock second, leading a train of himself. Vinci and Costello second, third, and fourth. Christopher Hill kind of starting to pull away a little bit from Logan Spath. 13 seconds back. He's in fifth. Spath right behind him. Nate Seifer, JJ Wang. Matthew Short up 8 spots.
Oh, look at Bensi just dives it down the inside of Titus Sherlock into turn one.
We got to keep the camera here. These guys have just been throwing haymaker after haymaker.
Yeah, they're going at it constantly here. Looks like Bensi not quite enough to get the move done and dusted. Sherlock still holding on to that second place doggedly at the moment. And here comes Costello.
Whoa.
Costello now to the inside. Beautiful move.
Oh,
Nice.
What a diving move. Beautiful job there. Michael Costello up into second place, and Bensi starting to come back. Looking to the inside of the hairpin. Oh, still got some space to work with there, but Costello holds it for now.
Bensi, the season, he was the season before last, so the season 5 champion. The Formula Indy Series, also a Formula... he goes wide.
Goes wide there, nearly got himself on the AstroTurf.
Also the defending champion of the ERL Indy 500 from last year. He beat out Robert Malechka and Jason Brophy by 0.004 of a second at the line there. Was in the points lead for the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series Championship, but did not pull it out at the end. But a good inaugural season for him there. 3 wins and an Indy 500 win in the 2024 A season. Sherlock starting to pull away. Let's give you some idea on gaps now between positions and show you some of the closest battles on the racetrack. Really, the closest battle is right here. Today's coverage sponsored by PokeHex. Go on a journey back in time as the experts of PokeHex open all the newest releases of Pokemon card packs, working their way back to 1999. You guys remember 1999, do you? Do you? Yeah. Do you remember 1999? You guys back in 1999?
I was a kid, so
I remember 1999. Were you collecting Pokemon cards at the time?
I was not.
I do. I was telling everybody I'm a bit of a boomer when it comes to Pokemon cards, but the only thing I know about Pokemon is that you got to collect them all. That's all I know. And but to learn, yeah, you got to catch them all. That's right. To learn more, to contact the guys at PokeHex, subscribe on YouTube, follow them on X and Instagram. Join their email list from their website and more. All the links you need are in the description. Proud sponsors of today's race, and appropriately so, being that it's a Grand Prix of Japan.
The only thing I regretted about the Pokemon cards is don't save it and don't put it in the stock. Save it to turn today.
Bensi gets around Costello. Costello actually broke a bit loose there off of turn number 1 and now moved Bensi back up into 3rd.
Yeah, back in the late 90s, I used to work just for fun at a video game store, a private one. I also used to work at EB Games or GameStop back in the day. And the private one, the owner there started carrying Pokemon cards. And I just remember the kids coming in to the store with fists of cash, whatever their allowance was for the week, and just dumping everything they had in their pockets and in their fists. For packets and packets and packets of Pokemon cards. And I didn't get it then, and I still don't, and I'm too much of a boomer to get it now, but I can appreciate everybody, especially when they start getting into their age or they have a little bit more disposable income, getting back into their old hobbies and investing in those things they either threw away or mom sold at a garage sale or something when they were kids. So if you guys got questions about Pokemon cards, check out the guys at PokeHex and follow their channel here on YouTube, as I'm sure you'll learn a lot. We appreciate their sponsorship today. But back up front, Tanner DeFabis is your leader. Titus Sherlock is second. Caleb Bensi third. Michael Costello is not letting Bensi get away, though.
No, he is not. And this is a very tight fight here. Even after Bensi got around Costello, they're holding pretty even with each other. Let's see. Good opportunity coming up here for Costello, perhaps. Not quite close enough.
You see riding over the shoulder of Michael Costello as he tries to run down Caleb Bensi. Off in the distance, that is the volcano, Mount Fuji. It is an active volcano.
Indeed it is. Obviously the most famous mountain in Japan, and definitely the biggest as well. At 12,388 feet, 3,776 meters. The highest mountain in all of Japan, and it's fantastic. That's
someone
the
off there.
Here.
I'm not sure who they just passed. That was Hayden Herman. He was off in that last turn complex before coming on to the main straight. And if you are so inclined, and if you have the stamina, you can take exhibitions and up to the top of Mount Fuji there. There's some YouTube videos on that. Check them out.
Yep.
Can I have a moment to say thank you to everyone on the chat for Gay Plays, Lee Jack, Mule Music, Down Golden, Tommy Cook, what else? Tyler Durst, everyone to say something over there on the chat.
Tommy Cook from Turn 200, the guys that covered the FSS, the Formula Super Series, which is the prelude to the FSS every season. I want to welcome them, thank them for their coverage. FIS has come a long way since season 1.
Indeed it has, and it's become like the fact that we have 40 cars on the grid for this race and how close the racing is, it just goes to show just how amazing a great IndyCar league can be, and how great IndyCar racing in general can be, both in real life and on iRacing. And everyone seems to get a blast out of it.
Battle on the racetrack, Logan Spath and Nate Siefker.
Oh, as Spath runs a bit wide there on exit there. Siefker on the outside on the hard tire. So the soft seem to be falling off a bit for Logan Spath, and clears him around the outside. Spath, though, right up in the draft. And he's going to look to the inside for turn 1. He has his nose alongside him. Still side by side. Who's going to get it going into 1? Siefker holding it around the outside. Almost contact there, Logan Spath.
This is
very
amazing.
Close.
This is great. Love these
Great
elbows out.
there.
And right in front of this battle is a kind of a teammate, Hayden Herman. Maybe he wants to help his teammate out a little bit. We'll see. But as a battle between Team Watson Racing and Stowe Motorsports. Of course, LGN, you might remember from the Elite Racing League Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series, that podium that Logan got at Michigan, and that heck of a Michigan 500 we covered.
Oh yeah, it's a really I'm really surprised. It's also here, and it's got a good performance in the road course. So I also remember about that battle.
And that was a huge attrition-filled kart-style race.
Yeah. Sounds like a certain race in Michigan in real life that I can name.
250 laps.
250 laps, 500 miles, yep. 8 cars finished at the end. And Logan there was on the podium's bottom step, racing Craig Forsyth and Matthew Weeks got the win. Here comes Siefker to pit road, scheduled stop, and a lot of guys coming in for scheduled stop right behind him. JJ Wang coming in.
Interesting, Siefker's coming in this early
Spath
on
coming
the
in
hard
too.
tire.
Yeah.
Bath in on the softs, Wang in on the softs, Johnston on the black hard tire. So it's interesting they're coming in this early.
Yeah, a number of drivers. It's a 20, and we're not even to the halfway point yet. So some of these guys might have to conserve some fuel and go a little bit longer with some conservation, unless they want to do a splash at the end. We're watching Logan Spath, Logan Spath, Nate Siefker now rolling off of pit road. Look at all these cars coming on and off pit road right now. Very busy pit road.
Oh yeah, this is a traffic jam and a half here coming down pit road here as Nate Siefker gets away. So this is saying to me that even the guys on the hard tires, they don't seem to be the biggest fans of the hard tire towards the end of the stint here.
Yeah, all the leaders went in, though. All the leaders went in. So all the soft tire guys went in. And remember, we said Christopher Hill was the lead of the prime tire guys. He's your leader now.
Ah, wow. So Christopher Hill down the front stretch.
And he's coming to pit road right now. And Takeshi Kita is currently second, up 14 spots. And they are staying out. We'll see if they come to pit road. Tanner DeFabis will pick up the lead when Kita comes to pit road, which they are. Home game for Kita here.
Kita on pit road now. The 64 machine comes in.
DeFabis down the front straight, and Sherlock has eaten into the lead by virtue of coming on and off pit road really, really fast. Sherlock now 2.3. That was about a 4-second lead at one point, so he's cut it in half. Sherlock on pit road, 8.7 seconds for his DeFabis on pit road, 10.4. So did Sherlock fill it enough? He stopped on lap 20.
And that should be enough there with 24 laps to go. Should be enough on fuel. More drivers coming on the pit road here. Takeshi Kita heads back out again. Kyle Mundell coming back out.
James Watson there on pit road, making his scheduled stop, and he's done. Corey Rutherford on pit road. Top 25 cars on the lead lap. So we do have the stats from last season just to remind everybody kind of how we left last season. Here are your FIS points from last season. Mitch Welker was your winner by a considerable margin over Caleb Benzie. Welker, remember, closed out that season with 4 wins in the last 5 races after kind of a rough start where he was in some contention for some races, made some mental mistakes, smacks the wall at Long Beach. One of them had some other issues where I think he might have sped on pit road on another one, but recovered to win his second series championship. He is the only driver in league history to win 2 championships. So he is a 2-time and defending champion, but not in today's lineup. Here's your amateur points from last season. Dan Marrera won the Amateur Series Championship. A.J. Digby finished 2nd. Kyle Allen 3rd. McDougall 4th. Claiborne 5th. Some of the names you see in today's lineup already. Marrera not in this year's championship, but he was your amateur winner last season. And in the team points, Stowe on the power of really 2 drivers on the championship podium at the end of the season. That would be Spath, who just clipped Gavin Sanders there at the end of the season for 3rd. And Caleb Benzie in 2nd. Here is your schedule for this season. As we're at Fuji, then we're Bathurst next week. Texas for our first oval for this season. Then we take a little bit. Actually, we will not take a break. We'll go to Misano. Then we'll take a break. Go to Sebring and Laguna Seca. Then we'll go to Milwaukee. Then Sachsenring, Spa, VIR. Again, we've been to the VIR here in the past. Nashville, Road Atlanta to wrap up the season. We had a very interesting race at Road Atlanta one of the last times the Formula Indy Series was there. If you might remember, that actually turned into a night race.
It did, yeah, with no lighting, both from the track and the cars. That was a handful for sure, and I'm amazed more drivers stayed on the track than they did.
I think Caleb might have won that one.
He did. That was Caleb Benzie.
We are back here at the halfway point here at Fuji. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to share, like, and subscribe to the channel. Don't miss out on our next race. We have a doubleheader on Monday. The Indy Open Series. A lot of these drivers do participate in the Indy Open Series. Mark Murphy, Kyle Clinworth will call the action. When they go to Lime Rock Park in IndyCars, woof, that's going to be tight quarters there. And then we will watch the ISRA Open Wheel Series, the ex-Lionheart guys, as they go to Pocono. They'll be me and Luis Gonzalez Nunez calling the action. Doubleheader action starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to smash that bell, and you'll get notified 30 minutes before we go live for that race. Tanner DeFabis is your leader as my voice cracks where I need to get a cold Coke in the system here. Titus Sherlock is 2nd. Caleb Benzie 3rd, as really the top 3 have kind of separated out a little bit. Costello 4th, Hill 5th. In fact, we want to take a look at this battle between Hill and Costello. That is going to be a close battle here momentarily. They're about a second off one another. A little bit further back, also Logan Spath in close proximity to J.J. Wang. J.J. up to 7th. I got to say, give a shout-out to J.J. His racecraft has definitely improved since he's joined the FIS. He is, in his first season, kind of struggled. Second season, got a little bit better. Next season, kind of flirting with the top 10. Today, in the top 10. So we'll give a shout-out for J.J. Wang.
Very well done so far for J.J. Wang. And like you said, great progression so far.
And I want to shout out Hunter Ingrave, not only for his photographs, but for his on-track performance, up 26 spots to 9th spot.
35th to 9th. Very nicely done by Hunter Ingrave. And again, just keeping your nose out of trouble in a lot of cases, doing you some good, and having good pace to go with it.
And by battle for position, possibly brewing between Costello and Hill for 4th. Got Hill on the button, going down the front straightaway to the inside, going into 1 for 4th spot. Give it to the driving instructor. He gets the position. Christopher Hill now up the 4th, which makes me wonder who's saving possibly here.
Indeed, he just caught him like he was driving one of the famous Shinkansen bullet trains around here.
You would know about that.
Oh, yes, I would.
that is on the old Gary's travel bucket list one of these days. Go to Japan and ride the bullet train.
Yes, indeed. And they're like, from everything I've seen of them, they really do live up to the hype. They are fantastic. And Christopher Hill blazes by him like he was one of the bullet trains on the other side of Mount Fuji. In fact, I think one of the most famous photography spots in all of Japan is on the other side of Mount Fuji, right next to the line of the famous Tokaido Shinkansen line, which is the Tokyo to Nagoya to Osaka line.
Kristen Moss, back in 31st, throws up a purple lap.
So we got more lap traffic here. That's J.W. Miller right ahead of Christopher Hill here, and Hill is pulling away very convincingly on the soft tire right now. A 124.1 last time around. Costello a 25.5. Those hard tires really not seeming to be the preferred one for these guys, so I think there may be a bit of buyer's remorse for coming in that early, unless, of course, fuel was the determining factor.
And we got a battle brewing back for 13th. Kyle Allen, Kyle Mundell, and Cody Claiborne in the fish car. Get to say it for the first time this season. Kate Claiborne back in 15th, but a three-way battle for 13th, and it looks like Mundell on push to pass. Oh, he might not. We'll see. He's in the draft. He's going to do it the old-fashioned way. Now he's on push to pass. In the inside, down the front straight, going in the 1. This is for 13th. And in that Villeneuve throwback, gets the position.
Him.
That is not Craig Forsyth, everybody.
No, it is not. As much as you may be convinced that it is, it isn't. But that is Kyle Mundell being moved up to 13th place there around the 999 of Kyle Allen. And Cody Claiborne's fish car is the interested spectator.
Another big gainer back in the back, Archie Williams. Oh, well, I take it back. He just smacked the wall, and he's out. He was up about 20 spots. That is not the broadcaster's jinx. He was already crashed.
Yeah, let's say that. So,
Well, we'll give some other drivers some shout-outs that have made some big climbs. James Watson back at 18th, up 16 spots. Nick Russell back in 20th. He's up 17 spots. Corey Rutherford back in 23rd, up 16. Excuse me. My voice starts to break a little bit again.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm surprised mine hasn't broken as much as I would have expected it to, because for those of you that missed the Porsche Cup race earlier today, I am sick. I don't know with what, but it sucks. And I'm amazed I'm actually able to keep going as long as I have.
If you're just joining us, this is coverage of the Formula Indy Series coming to you from Fuji International Speedway for the PokeHex Grand Prix of Japan. We've completed 27 of 44 scheduled laps. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications for future races. Thanks for joining us. Your new home of the FIS, but same voices as always.
And I'm looking at this lead battle. This is actually getting to be pretty tight. Titus Sherlock is catching Tanner DeFabis for the lead of this race. Down to around half a second between these two. Titus probably was using a bunch of lap traffic there as a pick to get up there. But it's opened up an opportunity for the 311 machine. And
there's lap traffic all over. You see in the track map all those dots in front of the blue dot that we currently have highlighted. That is the car highlighted on the racetrack. I'll highlight the leader for you. Here you go. The blue dot is the leader now. And then you see immediately in front of the leader 4 cars. And actually, I believe all 4 of those cars are racing for position, starting with Dakota DeMade. We haven't mentioned his name all day today. He's in 20th. Battling Nick Russell in 19th and Brian Labarge in 18th.
It's coming up on a spot over there with JJ. And also in the back, Hunter.
Here we go, Logan Spath, Hunter Ingrave. Hunter's caught this group. This is battle for 7th between Wang, Spath, and Ingrave. We'll watch this battle in the top 10. We'll try to take a look up front, see where these leaders shake out with the lap traffic. And when you have 40 cars on the racetrack, you have like 8 places at once where the camera needs to be.
Exactly.
And here is the Fabus. He got around the maid. Now he is getting around Labarge.
And pulled out a half second now over Titus Sherlock.
That's Russell,
the
excuse
process.
me. That is Russell. Next up is Labarge. There he is, Labarge in the yellow car. The Lego car. Nice.
Hey, very nice indeed. Hopefully not made out of Legos, as it were.
Actually, we have a regular participant in the Tuesday top split race that we do on the Indy Oval Series, Rob Hubricks, and he typically brings the Lego space car livery to the racetrack. So, yeah, we're down with that. I remember the old space and Benny from the movie. Go ahead. Matt Johnston had a issue.
Incident with Logan Spath and JJ and the brakes on the turn 1. Logan Spath hit JJ and he lost 2 positions over there.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Okay, so now we're watching the replay. JJ goes to the inside to defend. And Logan stays on the outside. Cuts down, and he just had a really quick run, and I'm thinking that he maybe was expected JJ to be faster in the middle of the corner, and he gives him the chrome horn. So move Logan up 1, and I think Hunter might have capitalized on that and picked up another position, now up 28 spots. Hunter,
Indeed,
man, imagine how if you qualified better, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Logan coming to pit road.
Okay.
So not a scheduled stop for Logan Spath, but maybe he has some damage he wants to get taken care of. Now that is going to cost last season's bottom step podium guy. He finished 3rd in the championship last season. Going to cost him some positions on the racetrack in a early season gaffe. But your leader still is the Fabus. Sherlock is there. 30 of 44.
And Titus Sherlock still holding strong to the gearbox of Tanner DeFabis for the lead of this race. Not quite enough to be hounding his rear wing just yet, but Sherlock still showing his pace. DeFabis across the line 24-7. Titus with a 24-1.
Oh, car in the wall off of the final corner. Not sure who that is.
Trying to pick out who that is there. Was that... that's Corey Rutherford.
Oh, is it Corey Rutherford? Okay.
Yep, Corey Rutherford's 555 in trouble.
There he is. Yeah, a wobbly right front day done for him coming to pit road.
And yeah, car just got loose on him.
I think about Logan Spath is a penalty because it took like more than 1 minute in the pit stop.
Yeah, on pit road for 1 minute 18 seconds in the box for 48.8.
Wow. Unfortunately, we don't have the race control chat or something like that. Maybe they send it to him a private something about the hit with JJ. The incident, sorry.
And now the leaders coming up to James Watson. Currently, your entire top 9 are in the pro category. Your top amateur at the moment is Thomas Raval.
Sherlock is in.
All right, Sherlock is in. We'll watch him on pit road. Scheduled stop.
Yeah, I believe that is a scheduled stop there for Titus Sherlock. Went this far on the hard compound tire.
Only 11 laps.
Yeah. So a 2-stop race seems to have been the order of the day for most of these people.
Gabriel Assaslin, he is on the inside of Hayden Herman. He's in that Williams Formula One throwback. We can get you an IndyCar livery, though, if you need one, Gabriel. He is currently now up to 17th.
And Sherlock back out of the pits. Right in front of the 00. That's JJ Wang in back in 7th place now. As tight as Sherlock, and he's going to have some fast tires underneath him.
I was mentioning Thomas Raval in 10th. He's your lead amateur. There he is. Give him a shout out. Kyle Allen is your second in class in amateur. He's back in 12th. There he is. You remember from those graphics, those guys fared pretty well in the amateur championship last season. They're back again. Vincian pushed the pass, trying to run down the leader, but he has a huge gap to overcome. 12 seconds.
Yes, indeed, he does. Pulling away a little bit from Christopher Hill back there in 3rd place now. But these guys,
Costello,
I think they're going to need to pit again.
Costello pit road scheduled stop. He's leaving from 4th. Move Nate Seifer now up a position to 4th now.
It's been a strong race so far for one of our resident Road to Indy drivers.
I want to apologize for something. I already read in the chat in Discord about something, and I realized is that for the Porsche Cup. So my mistake about the calculation on the fuel. I said something wrong, completely wrong. So sorry.
It's okay. That's allowed. It's allowed.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it's like
bearings.
Okay, what? Yeah.
It's the opening race for us in the season too.
Yes, indeed. And
And
we
the
can pass
last
it
one
up
for
to Denise
somebody.
as a new broadcaster.
And the last one for somebody, or no?
Yeah.
Ethan Stanley checking in chat. He finished in the championship race for the Elite Racing Leagues. Go ahead.
Christopher Hill is on pit road.
Oh, he
Christopher
did.
Hill
He
coming
locked
into the
up coming
pits.
to the line.
He did. Oh, no. And that is a damaged front wing on the 101, who was running in 3rd. Christopher Hill, can he get it fixed?
We'll watch it. He's coming to the line really fast. There's a bit of a chicane right here before. Whoa, yep. And he power slides it through, almost held it, but then found the inside wall.
Oh.
Unforced error for Christopher Hill, former winner in the series.
Absolutely brutal. And I'm also reading Cody Claiborne has a black flag to deal with. Trying to see for what, and actually it looks like there was contact that Claiborne had with the 000 of Eric Dubois. Could that be the reason why he has to come in to serve a black flag?
That was real close. I don't see that. That was real close. I didn't see contact, but it was real close. Well, we'll get back to racing. Cody in 17th, and
Pappas is in.
one of
Leader
the.
is on
I
pit
think
road.
he's in the top 5 in the amateurs division right now. DeFabis on pit road, as you mentioned. But again, I wanting to shout out to Ethan Stanley. He's a winner in the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series in chat. He was among the championship 7. Yes, 7 drivers were involved in the championship going into the last race of the season. He finished on the podium for that season. Unfortunately, missed out the championship to Adriano Pinero. But good to have him here. We will see him probably next month when the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series kicks off at Legacy, Kentucky. For round 1. Yeah.
Sherlock is caught
Here we
back up
go.
to Tanner DeFabis just coming off
Yep.
of pit road.
We're watching it right here, real close. Cold
Sherlock
tires
up
versus
hot.
warm tires. Get on a camera angle. It's better than that, guys. There we go. Oh, to the inside.
He's going to be on the outside for the hairpin, though. Sends it around the outside. Titus Sherlock with all that grip. Beautifully done by the 311 to take the effective lead of the race.
Caleb Bitsy did come to pit road.
Oh,
And
it was
on the
the Fox fighting
outside, not a good place to pass there coming into that chicane.
Nice.
Nearly banging wheels there. DeFabis gets him back. Tanner DeFabis retakes that lead. Titus Sherlock putting up a valiant fight.
Now remember, in the first race, we saw two teammates from this team smack each other.
Yeah.
So are we going to see a little bit more fratricide again or not? Elbows out with the teammates. DeFabis, Sherlock on push to pass down the main straight.
And looking behind, looks like Hunter Engrav is going to come on the pit road now from third
That'll
place.
be a scheduled stop for him. Yeah, a massive gain for him. 32 spots to this point. He's going to give up some of it coming for his final stop, but a great race for Hunter. And once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching coverage of round 1 of 12 of the Formula Indy Series, coming to you from Fuji International Speedway for the PokeHex Grand Prix of Japan. We're currently, Tanner DeFabis is your leader with 9 to go. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. The next race for this series next week, we will be at Mount Panorama. JJ Wang currently. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. JJ Wang currently in third. I believe he is still has a pit stop due, and Caleb Bitsy running him down on a fresh set of reds right now.
Looks to be so right now. So Bitsy, who I believe we were saying he did make his final stop. Yes, he did. Just about a lap ago.
2 laps ago, yep.
So the guy he's going to be keeping an eye on, probably more so than JJ Wang at this point, is Hunter Engrav.
Push to pass. So you see on his dash there, the green border of the pie readout means he's on push to pass. So IndyCar recently in an update, when you use push to pass, when you're on the button, you're using it. It used to be you pushed it and then you had 10 seconds of it engaged, up to 10 seconds of it engaged, and then it would shut itself off. So it's more along the lines of what they use in modern IndyCar racing right now, where it's you push the button, you engage the system. You take your finger off the button, the system disengages. And here he comes up to JJ. JJ on a set of very old alternate tires right now.
And we're getting closer and closer to the end, of course, working lap 37 of 44. So we're firmly in the end stages.
And hopefully one of these updates maybe later this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we see the introduction of the hybrid system that made its entrance in the IndyCar season midway through the last 2024 season in the NTT IndyCar season there.
I'll be looking forward to that for sure. That'll be fun to try out as Bitsy gets by JJ Wang for third place.
Yeah, I don't think Wang really held him up or caused much of a fight there. I think Wang is on a kind of a strategy of his own at the moment. He might be trying to go to the end with those really, really old tires on a one stop. So we'll see. He might be trying to conserve.
Very well. It could very well be the case here as we're working lap 38.
Papasavis has moved up into the top 10. He's now 6th. Unfortunately, he had some troubles very early on, and he's had to drive his way back from all that.
This is true, though. I think Papasavis does have to stop again.
Yeah, he has 16 laps into this stint, so maybe he possibly does.
Yeah, I think he does, unless he can really save well on fuel. But currently in 6th place, one of the USF 2000 drivers on the field, alongside Michael Costello and Tanner DeFabis. We got kind of a star-studded lineup of the up-and-comers of IndyCar competition, and I love it.
Kyle Allen now on push to pass to the inside of Dakota DeMay. This is for 12th. And Kyle Allen, he is 2nd place right now in the amateur class. Move him up to 12th.
Yep, got around Dakota DeMate. He's got about 7-second gap. Yeah, yes, and to catch Tomas Ruviel in 11th place, leading the amateur division. And looking at lap times, it's a close call. Allen may be a little bit quicker, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to catch him at this rate, but you never know. And JJ Wang now comes on the pit road.
Final stop for JJ, so he went as far as he could have gone. He might get a top 10 out of this. We'll see where he comes back out at all. I think he will. There's about 17 seconds back to Kidda at the moment.
And Takeshi Kidda is coming off the final corner in 9th place, so I think this will put JJ Wang back in 8th. Still a very good effort so far by the 00 crew.
Tanner DeFavis in the middle of lap traffic at the moment, getting around Kevin Bonimi. Next up for him is Logan Spath, who's back at 15th after being in the top 10 for the early portions of this race.
Yeah, so
Logan's going to do everything he can to stay on the lead lap at this point. He might be driving a little mad.
Maybe so, especially after all that's happened to that number 3 machine. He's not going to be pleased with the result he's got at hand tonight.
All right, well, here's the push-to-pass situation with 5 laps to go. DeFabis 13 seconds, and he's Winchester. Sherlock 44 seconds. Bency 60. Costello 126. Papasavas on the button right now. Seifer on the button right now. There might be a battle for position. We'll go back and check that out right now, see if they try to run each other down. Ingrave 156 seconds. Wang 31. Kitna 51. And Mundell, who's worked his way up into the top 10. At 172. That is your push the pass situation.
And it's been pretty impressive how not too many of these guys have had to use push to pass very often. It's mostly just been consistency at this point. Tanner DeFabis may be the exception to the rule because I think he was using a fair bit of push to pass to get into the lead of this race. But from here on out, it seems like it's smooth sailing right now. The gap right now about 3.3 seconds.
15 cars on the lead lap. We still have a good number still running, only showing 10 cars out of the 40 that started this race. 4 to go. As we go back up front to Tanner DeFabis, who is now got up to Logan. We know Logan has pace. He's going to go to the inside here of Logan. And Logan lets him on by.
And Tanner DeFabis has he's been doing a fantastic job all night tonight. This is the hallmark of an up-and-coming pro. Someone who can really nail down consistent laps, get themselves to the front, and just hold down fast lap after fast lap after fast lap. Tanner DeFabis has shown that with pressure from Titus Sherlock, of course. But he's held strong this whole night.
This is Tanner's 4th race in the series. He has 1 top 5, 2 top 10s. Looking for a win in his 5th start.
It's Gabriel Asseline in the 87 trying to get around here, around the outside of the lap car, and gets it done. 3 to go.
And DeFabis, if he does hold on and get the win today, he'll be the 21st different winner in series history. Last first-time winner in the series was last season. That was Indica Scarlet at Indianapolis. As we ride through the eyes of Tanner DeFabis.
This section here is always fun to drive on. 4th gear, feathering the throttle, getting really close to the grass there, setting up for that left-hand pseudo hairpin in a lot of ways, you may say. Fast sweep here. Technically a fast sweeper here as well, and then hard on the brakes for this chicane. Hairpin here to the left. Set it up to the right. And be very careful on your braking here. It's really easy to get loose. Holding it very well. Through this left-hander. Blind apex at the top. And then a sweeping right. Very late apex on this corner. And down the front straightaway. As I said in the Porsche Cup race, a very long front straightaway. In fact, I believe when F1 raced here in 2007 and 2008, it was one of the longest, if not the longest straightaway on the calendar. And
Logan on a battle here with Gabriel. This is for 14th and 15th.
Spath on the button. Fighting with Assolini. This is for 14th place. And Spath gets around him. Next up will be Dakota DeMade. I don't know if he'll have the time to do it.
Fabus with a 4-second lead over his teammate Sherlock. Vinci in third. We're coming to the white flag next time by. This is also Titus Sherlock's 5th race in league history as well. He has 2 top 5s and 3 top 10s. So both these guys looking at some career best finishes here. Caleb Bency in his 62nd career start here in the series. Of course, he's 7 wins, former series champion, 41 top 5s on his way to his 42nd here top 5 and 50th top 10 here soon. He brings it home in his 3rd position. White flag in the air. Tanner DeFabis just 2.8 miles away from win number 1 in the Formula Indy Series to become the 21st different driver to get a dub here and one of the leading road series on all of IndyCar racing here on the service, the Formula Indy Series. Season 7, this is the opener. Welcome. Thanks for being here, everybody. Getting ready to watch a little history in the league as a new winner is on the verge of getting win number 1.
Tanner DeFabis has put on an absolute show here tonight. It's fantastic to see fresh blood getting the wins and fighting it out with the established guard.
And
it has been a
if he doesn't pass Dakota, Dakota will get a little extra TV time at the start-finish line.
Yeah, that's a good question. Through the chicane for the last time, then up the hill. It's been an absolutely beautiful showing. Tanner DeFabis, USF 2000 Series star, going into the 2025 season. All the best to him in the USF 2000s, because he is going to get a great win tonight, opening the Formula Indy Series. Tanner DeFabis wins at Fuji. And let Dakota DeMade win the process.
The lap back to Dakota.
That's very nice of him, if I'm being honest. That's
Tanner
nice
DeFabis, very nice. P1 for Tanner. There is Titus on P2. And here comes Caleb to secure that bottom step. So a good start for the championship for the top 3 and a good start for our former champion here coming home 3rd. Michael Costello, he's going to bring another one of the team cars across there. So a good day. I believe this is the Eclipse team. 1, 2, and 4. Seifer is going to be the lead car in the Team Watson stable. Hunter Ingrave will be right behind him in 6th. JJ Wang coming home 7th. Good finish for him. Kidda coming off the final corner for a top 10 for him, up 8 spots, coming home 8th.
Mundell's going to be 9th and Papa Savas 10th.
And Raval will be 11th. He'll be the lead amateur. Winner in class there. Kyle Allen, 2nd in class. And, of course, Dakota DeMade will get that last spot there on the lead lap for 13th. So 13 cars finished on the lead lap. And here are your results for the PokeHex Grand Prix of Japan. Canada Fabus getting his first win in the Formula Indy Series by 3.7 seconds over Titus Sherlock. Sherlock finishes second there. Caleb Benzie third. That is your podium. Michael Costello fourth. Former champion Nate Seifer fifth. Hunter Ingrave with a great finish. And really, he's your biggest gainer of the day. 29 spots for Hunter. Out freaking standing. He comes up seventh. JJ Wang, a good finish for him in seventh. Kidda in eighth. Mundell ninth. And Papa Savas in 10th. That is your top 10. We have many pages that we got to go through here, so we will just get on with it.
Yeah.
Raval, your lead amateur at 11th. Kyle Allen, second lead amateur in 12th. Dakota DeMade 13th. Spath 14th. Assailant, and again, hopefully saying these right, and if we're not, just let us know in Discord, and we will make sure to make all corrections for the next race. 15th, the Turk 16th, Watson 17th, Claiborne in the fish car at 18th, Labarge 19th, Russell in 20th. Actually, we want to go next, there we go. Hayden Herman 21st, Bonimi 22nd, Johnston, Rutherford, Miller, your top 25. Johnny Moss, Dubois, Hill, Rutherford, that's your top 30. And then rounding out the remainder of the 40-car field is Williams, Shorts, Indica Scarlett, who was on a good run. Unfortunately, lost that front nose and led to a little bit more of a downfall than she wanted. I'm sure she'll be looking for more in the next race, but coming home 33rd. Yellen, Schlosser, Nixon, our pole sitter, Goyette, Flau, Miglin, and Soij. Again, we're saying things wrong. Please let us know. And that is your 40-car field. Outstanding recruitment here for the Formula Indy Series admins to get 40 cars. All right, we got to queue up some replays. And we want to get one here with starting with Caleb Benzie, because we're going to bring him in first. For some reason, we'll have to do replays the old-fashioned way, so we'll do this. What number is Caleb? He is, what, 21? 21, yeah. Find his, there we go. We'll start with him in his fast lap. There we go. For some reason, our session events still shows the session events left over from the Porsche race. All right. And we'll cue out the music, and we'll bring up how the day progressed for Caleb. Started third, really didn't leave the top 10 at all. And let's get the track map off there as well. There we go. And the purple lap did go to DeFabis as well. So gets the win, gets the purple lap. Started fourth, so halfway to the Grand Slam today. Not a bad day. Not a bad day, really. So let's pop into the interview room and see who we got here. Caleb Benzie. Pop him in. Welcome to the booth, Caleb. Congratulations on the P3. Some dicing up there. Really, it looks like at some point you guys, you and the two Mosaic Eclipse cars, kind of looks like there was some laps there where the elbows were really out, and not only were the elbows out, but they were sharp. A lot of dicing going on up there. Maybe some fun racing, maybe not, but a good start to the season in the hopes of getting your second series championship, getting a third here at FUJI, but the pace was pretty extreme out there today.
Yeah, that first stint was way wilder than I was expecting. But yeah, in the moment, I can't say it was very fun. It was a lot of like, what are we doing here? But
come on, man. Yeah.
Yeah. In retrospect, it was good. I mean, for the most part, it was pretty clean racing. But yeah, it was tough because there was a pretty tough line to walk with saving the tires and trying to push while everyone was, pretty condensed there. So I try to be more conservative on the tires, but I just don't. They didn't wear as much as we were thinking. So probably that first stint could have pushed a little harder because the front two kind of pulled a big gap there in that first stint. But yeah, I mean that's why we love the IndyCar racing. 'Cause it's just, I mean, we kind of have the fenders, I guess, in a way with the large floorboard. You can beat and bang a little bit without massive wheel contact and all that. So yeah, that's like I said, in retrospect, that was a lot of fun.
Steven, you got anything for Caleb?
So it seems like you were asking the question while you were driving if we were doing racing or ping pong in the start of that race, but looking at the looking forward to next week at Bathurst, because obviously that's a challenging track in any car. Are you ready for that show?
Yes, absolutely. I I absolutely love Bathurst. So, and
So
probably,
do I.
yeah, I can't. Some tracks I haven't even driven on this schedule yet ever, but Fuji's definitely never been one of my strong tracks at all. So, honestly, I'm very very happy to be up here right now, and I think Bathurst will be hopefully an even better showing. So I love having that car on edge up the mountain, going down the mountain and stuff. It's an absolute blast. So yeah,
Oh,
hopefully this was a good building point track where wasn't really expecting much. So yeah, hopefully I can go into there and do even better.
Well, we know the family's watching, and you know the drill. We were actually just looking at your series statistics here coming in right before your finish here. This is your 62nd start. You got 7 wins, 41 top fives, now 42 top fives, and now 50 top 10s. This is, like I said, your 62nd start. So you know the drill. You've been up here so many times, even on other broadcasts. Go ahead and give those shout outs. I know you got them.
Yeah, so obviously, first of all, thanks to you guys as always. I know family and everything's tuning in. So yeah, and happy to have Hayden back with us. I know Logan didn't have the race he was hoping for, but good to always have Hayden back. And yeah, if you haven't heard it yet, Migo Secura, if you're ever in the Northeast Ohio area, go check him out. And Joey Selman's Motorsports Art. I know some people around here have gotten some works from him, so definitely check him out if you're interested. And yeah, as I mentioned before, thanks to family and friends for tuning in. I actually have a group of friends here right now, hanging out, waiting for me to come down and play some games with them. So they're probably all tuning in the basement. So yeah, shout out to everyone there supporting, and glad we can bring home a pretty good finish to start the season.
All right, we'll let you go entertain your house guests, but congratulations on the P3, and we'll see you in a week at Bathurst.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you guys.
Yeah. And hold on, I just got a DM here from the admin says the points are updated, so we will take a look here at the points here momentarily. But we will bring up Titus Sherlock to have him talk about his race, as he's sharing his stream right now. So I think he's probably talking to some folks, but we'll see if we'll surprise him by bringing him a bit to the booth. Here we go. Titus, we know you're sharing your screen out to the guys there in the waiting room. Sorry to pull you up in here, but hey, it's your turn to talk. Congratulations, P2, here today at Fuji. Some very dicey, elbows out, spicy action, as we were calling it in that first stint. And then when the pit stops happened and people decided to go different strategies on tires, the field kind of stretched out a little bit, made it tight there at some points with your teammate Tanner for the lead, but looks like second really is where you're going to end up. Talk about your race and your first podium here in the series.
Yeah, it was good. Didn't have the best qualifying, so didn't start where I really wanted to. And then at the end of the first lap, I got some damage, so it made it a bit tougher. So once I got to second, I saw Tanner was 5-6 seconds ahead of me. I knew I had to kind of do something different to win the race, so I tried to short stop fuel, and it almost worked, but just not quite. So it wasn't quite enough, but it was still fun and a good start to the season for the team.
You can go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, so saw that. So the main thing I was really enjoying was that battle towards the middle of the race there with you and Tanner. So like obviously you guys were playing it firm but fair there. You didn't want to hit your teammate, obviously, but I'm guessing it was just like no holds barred as long as you don't hit them, I think was the order of the day there, I imagine. And Tanner I guess just had a better situation there.
Yeah, the last battle we had on the last stint, I went for the undercut, so I'd had about 3 laps on my tires before we
Mm.
started battling, so I really didn't have a shot unless I got ahead of him, and I just wasn't quite able to do that. So I didn't fight him too hard because I knew it was inevitably going to get passed back anyway. So, and yeah, of course, he's a teammate, and we were having a good day, so I didn't want to ruin it.
Well, congratulations on the great start of the season. It's always I always say the best time to do your best work in any type of campaign is right off the bat, because it really sets the tone. So a P2 here in race 1 of the season, going to Bathurst next week. Congratulations. Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone who wants to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, just the whole Eclipse team. We've been practicing a lot for this series and also Daytona coming up, and so yeah, everyone joining and helping out there has been awesome. All my teammates, Michael and Sam and Tanner and Evagoras and everyone that we have. So thank you.
All right, well, congratulations, Titus, on the P2 today. We'll catch you at Bathurst next week. In the meantime, enjoy the podium, and we'll see you next week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And we will drag him down back to the waiting room. So a good start to the season for him. And now we'll look at Tanner here, who really just had the best day of everybody. So we'll bring him on up now. Tanner DeFabis, welcome to Victory Lane here on the top step of the podium at Fuji. Congratulations on the win. There were some spicy moments as we were talking throughout the other finishers of the top 3. At some points, elbows went out a little bit. Some tight racing there with, especially when Caleb was involved. But you had a race mostly by yourself at the front of the pack. But talk about your race and getting this first win here in the Formula Indy Series.
Yeah, so it was a great win. Really good job by Titus, keeping me at bay for the last part of the race. I really didn't expect to be in this position, to be honest. But yeah, start of the race, we just had a clean start, kept good pace, and I think Michael had a slowdown, so he just let me by, and I went for the leader. I got by him lap 3, and then at that point it was just kind of managing the tires and these alternates, because they just completely go after 2 or 3 laps, and it's just really about managing those tires and keeping a good pace. And then yeah, and obviously trying to save a little bit of fuel at the same time. But yeah, I went into the pits, and Titus caught up to me in the pits by a lot, actually. I think it was like 3 seconds. So he had a really good pit stop compared to me. And then from there, it was just trying to manage the primaries, and he had a little bit less fuel than me, I believe. So he ended up kind of catching up to me, but then he had to pit earlier.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, I saw him pit, so I was thinking, now do I pit or do I just kind of finish my fuel? And I was staying consistent, but I decided to pit and try to use the newer tires against him. And as soon as I came out of the pits after, I forgot what lap it was, but came out of the pits and he was right next to me. And I was like, oh shoot, oh shoot. And I was like, and the outlap on the tires on the IndyCar is terrible. So kind of just trying to defend a little bit as much as I can. He ended up getting past me, and then I had a surprisingly good move into I forget the turn, but yeah, from there just kind of pulled away because I had better tires.
Yeah, we did notice that you were in the box for like 10.7, so you probably filled your car all the way full. He was in the box for like 8 something, and I mean, really, since we're talking simulated pit stops, most everyone is within 1/10 of a second or 2/10 of a second, really, on the pit stop here in the sim, but. Maybe in the real world, someone can improve by that much by just being that much faster. But in the sim, really, the difference between a full pit stop across the board for everybody, it's only a couple tenths of a second. But when you see a big gap like that, it makes you wonder that maybe he short filled or something, and then later had to dial it back. And we didn't ask him about that, but we did notice it during the race. So we were watching that. So that's maybe what he did. We don't know. Maybe you can find out during your team debrief. But yeah, your pit stop, it was fast, but I think he might have had a little bit of a shorter fill on his stop. But go ahead, Steven. Any questions for our winner?
I think the main thing that I've been curious of, because me and myself and Luis were talking about this. You were one of 3 drivers in the field, at least, competing in the USF 2000 championship this year. So I think the main thing I'm curious of is do you think obviously the IndyCar and the USF 2000 whole different animal, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but do you think that the way the IndyCar drives in its current state, do you think do you think like the USF 2000 experience has really helped you along on that one, or vice versa?
Honestly, both have helped me. I mean, sim has helped me in real life, and real life has helped me in the sim. It kind of just correlates to a degree, of course. Currently this year, I'm trying to run in USF Pro, so
Ah,
I'm not going to talk too much about that. But
no need
so
to.
not confirmed for anything. But yeah, obviously the fundamentals, like the way you steer them, the way you brake, all the fundamentals are the same, and the shaping, and so that's obviously something to take into. And the downforce, it can kind of correlate. I mean, obviously it's IndyCar versus Pro, but yeah, I mean,
obviously.
the nice thing about this car is that it helps you a lot with fundamentals. That's
Okay.
pretty much it.
All right. Well, congratulations, and it is good to have a real pro here. Just remember us little people when you do get big. But anyways, any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to while we got you on the top step of the podium? You earned it with the win here at Fuji, so go right ahead.
One thing before I shout anybody out, to pronounce my last name, it's DeFabus.
DeFabus, okay.
DeFabus, okay.
Fabus. Now, yeah, I would love to shout out I'm sorry. Eclipse Competition. I would love to shout out Eclipse Competition. Obviously creating this sim racing team last year with a couple of my racing friends has been great, and we love competing in these series and having a lot of fun doing it. So yeah, obviously want to thank them and thank our sponsors, of course. So yeah.
There you had it, Tanner DeFabus, as we get that right now. And he is now the 21st different driver in league history to get a win. Congratulations. We'll catch you in a week at Mount Panorama.
Yep. See you guys there. Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, another great opener to season 7 of a series that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Really, if you put all these leagues that are out here, these private leagues on the iRacing services that runs the IR18, FIS continually in the discussion for one of the top 10 leagues on the entire service. And it kind of proves it today with 40 drivers and some real pros, semi-pros in the lineup. And putting 40 cars on the starting lineup. FIS really a lot of momentum to start this season. Once again, they do not fail to disappoint and excite with a good race here at Fuji. Steven.
Yeah, like it really is the gift that keeps on giving, this league is. And we saw it firsthand, like 40 cars on the field, and generally speaking, it was a close fight pretty much the whole way through. We had great drivers competing. We had the old guard mixing in with some new faces. And we have some drivers who've raced IRL here tonight. So it really is getting better and better, especially to start off this season. And now we head to one of the craziest tracks to drive an open wheel car in, and I'm all for it. It's Bathurst. I honestly can't wait.
Lewis, welcome to the FIS experience. What'd you think?
Oh, crazy to hear to read. You have a Costello, the other ones here in this race, and especially Papasavas, because I remember Papasavas when I attended to the Indy here in Toronto. They talked about a lot to him, and it's like a Papasavas. Okay. And then I read it today. It's like, oh, okay, it's this guy. So it's not all at him. It's like a 3 or 4 more. So very big. I didn't think about it. Very big stuff over here, and was a group race with 40 cars around. So I really like it, the battle they have around on this. And this is kind of clean, and at the same time it's kind of with incident, but it's normal on this track. So congratulations for all of these guys, especially for the race that we have on Porsche Cup, and pretty good race. So, but I have my doubt about the Mont Panorama. I remember the Fixed Series or the Open. No, I think it's the Fixed Series. Have a race on Mont Panorama when they started to put road course in the Fixed Series, and was a I don't want to say disaster, because in the Fixed Series everybody's coming over there. But here we have a professional people. But I can imagine 40 cars or maybe 35 cars or maybe 30 cars in Mont Panorama. They do it in the real life with the sport cars, for the sport cars, and also with for the sport car actually. And
those 1000 too.
Yeah, actually, and everybody.
Well, as long as you keep as long as the cars don't play ping pong down the where the downhill portion that kind of funnels down a little bit and then has no runoff, and as long as the track's not blocked there and we can get through the first couple of laps, I think we're okay.
I think so. Turn 1. I think so. Turn 1, 2, 3. I think so. 3 or 4. When you're going to the hill, when you turn to the left, that is a blind spot over there, and if somebody is over there, it's hard to avoid that. So I hope it's not gonna be I don't know if they have a race before over there, but it's gonna be interesting to see.
I don't think. Let me double check here before we get on out of here. Did we ever race at Mount Panorama? Not in the series. No, yes, we have. FIS did race in the Mount Panorama circuit. I'm not sure what season it was. It had to be the season that Michael O'Brien was the champion, because he won that race. Principal Dan finished second, and Gavin Sanders third, Caleb Benson fourth, Nate Seifert fifth. So Christopher Hill sixth. So there's a lot of guys. Matthew Short was also in the top 10 there. A lot of guys that are in the lineup today were in that lineup that had a good finish. So got some experience from a previous race there. I want to say season 3, something like that. So we'll definitely have the previous history of the FIS at Mount Panorama, but it has happened. And if I remember right, that was a pretty decent race. So we shall see. I think these guys are all pro and semi-pro enough, or at least strong hobbyists, to put a lot of practice in and put on a good show, I'm sure of it.
It should be. If they put that track in this league, it's because the admin believe it in the ability of all these guys.
That's it for tonight. Once again, your podium from Fuji International Speedway for the PokeHex Grand Prix of Japan is Canada Famous. He is your winner, followed by Titus Sherlock and Caleb Benson. That is your podium 1, 2, 3. Join us next week for round 2 of the PSS and FIS championships as we head to the Mount Panorama circuit in Bathurst, Australia. Coverage begins with the PSS support race around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, immediately followed by the 125-mile IndyCar race. Remember, every FIS race this season is a part of a racing doubleheader, so you don't want to miss any of the action. And be sure to check our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting for the correct broadcast time in your area. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game's not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought of tonight's race. And to enjoy tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out more of P1's other iRacing programming, including next Monday night, a doubleheader starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time, IndyCar Open Series from Lime Rock Park. That's going to be a fun one to watch. That's going to be a very odd racetrack to see these cars at. It's a very short road course. And then later that night, the ISRA Open Wheel Series continues their Big Ten stretch run to their final race here in March, championship race in March, as they go to Pocono. So check that out, all starting at 7 p.m. Eastern on Monday. Tonight's coverage sponsored by PokeHex. Go on a journey back in time as the experts at PokeHex open the newest releases of Pokemon card packs, working their way back to 1999. To learn more or to contact them, subscribe on YouTube, follow them on X or Instagram, or join their email list from their website and more. All the links you need are in the description. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. Learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter or Instagram today. Links are in the description. For business inquiries to learn more about P1 and what we do, like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow all of our socials. They're on Linktree or link them in the description. Just click on the links and they'll take you there. Everything you need is there. So for Stephen Larkamp, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, everyone here at the FIS and P1, I'm Gary Gatto, the voice of the FIS, saying to all, good night and thanks for watching, and all of the men and women serving in the military and as first responders. Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again next week in Bathurst for the next race of the Formula Indy Series on P1. Good night.